It's a wild through a goal. Slots it beyond Fodringer. And the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box for Doffin. He can hit them. And he does. The Doffin! Has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again. This is New York Talk, the Rotherham United podcast, and we lost, obviously. We're away, so it's 30 games, 30 away games now without a victory. And that's league games as well. That doesn't include the couple of cup games that are in there as well. We'll talk about that, and that's it. There's no game to preview until we'll play that lot later in the week. So we'll talk about QPR, where it leaves us in the league, where it leaves the season, which is obviously finished. And we'll go from there. Mick is back with us. How are you doing, Mick?
I'm all good, mate. Thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. And we've managed to get Ben back. How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, I'm good. Is this back to back?
What?
Is it back to back? I'm sure it's back to back. I've been on.
Were you on Thursday? What did you do Thursday night?
When was the last one? Last Sunday?
Sunday before, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Ben's not very well, so the days have merged into one for the last year, apparently. Mick, you're wearing your Hammerby shirt today.
Yes.
Why?
Well, our season's over and done with. Summer seasons are starting very soon. Back in March, the Swedish season starts. So I'm, as of now, I'm a Hammerby fan.
Fair enough. Okay. We're going to go through a positive thing, a happy thing that you found yesterday at the game. I'll go through the comments first to give you two chance to think of something. YouTube users Chris Tether, Sarah Ogden, Martin Hawley, Nicola Drew, Harry, Michael, and Kelly Fuzz are all with us so far. Make sure if you're with us, drop a hello in the comments. Make sure you like the show as well on YouTube if that's where you're watching. If you're watching on X, follow us as well. Mick, anything that made you laugh or smile yesterday, excluding that's it. Anything.
I think probably the most amusing part of the day was getting lost in the Westfield Centre after we'd parked, so we couldn't make
That was going to be mine.
Yeah, I mean that's about as funny as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we parked. Mick drove yesterday. Me, Mick, and Ben went out with Mick, and we parked in the Westfield Centre because it's quite close to Loftus Road. We parked, as it turns out, in the Marks and Spencer's section. So we walked inside Marks and Spencer's thinking this will be dead easy. We'll be in and out. We'll go to Marks and Spencer and we'll walk straight out. I think it was close to 20 minutes. We were in the Westfield Centre. we did the most manly thing ever. I don't know how many security guards we walked past that we could have said, "Excuse me, mate, how do you get out of here?" We didn't do that. Oh no. We went up to a map and said, "Right, there's the end of the building, so that must be an exit somewhere near there." So we just walked towards the edge of the building and finally made our way out.
It were hard enough getting out of Marks and Spencer's.
We're about 10 minutes. Yes. Ben, anything?
I've got a couple actually. When Chair got the ball, it was quite funny. Every time he got the ball, the songs that were being sang about certain situations. I like the ground. I do like. Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but I mean, yeah.
Why not?
I like the ground as well. I really do like that stadium. On top here, I hate when there's room between the edge of the pitch and the stands, and kind of ruins atmosphere. And when they scored, it was so loud because it's such an ideal stadium, in my opinion. It's a really good stadium. It felt like I want pitch. To be honest.
Unless you want to sit down, then it's not ideal.
Yeah, unless you want to sit down, yeah, then it's not ideal. But if you're a manager and you know what I mean, you're trying to get your team going, you can use that crowd so easily and so effectively. So
your positive is about the other club.
Yeah, it's positive for QPR. Yeah.
Okay. That's where we are in life. Yeah. Mike the Miller says 30 is a disgrace. Short title today is 30 is plenty. I'm not sure what the record is in the EFL. We've broken the Rotherham United Club record, which I think was 27. We may well have broken the EFL. do our best to find out, but I don't know even where I'd start finding that information out, to be honest with you, Mick. But 30 league games, away league games without victory. What is it? Is it 9 in 109 league championship appearances? 9 wins. Bear in mind, I think 5 of those were in COVID as well. It's just madness. It's strange. It almost defies logic, really, because the law of averages tell you probably should have won a game by now. I know we're not very good this season, but we were all right last season. And it's just crazy. This run is incredible.
Yeah, it's become a self-perpetuating situation, hasn't it? I think we could and should probably, well, not probably, we could and should have won on Saturday at QPR. Had it not been for a sort of a mindless 20 minutes or so against Ipswich, we probably would have won that game as well. You can't say that about any other of the 30, I don't think. So if I'm clutching at straws, maybe there's an argument there to say that that's a positive. But I mean, it's a it's a proper clutch, that, isn't it? So yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all.
No, it's not. Harry says it's 32. It's 32 in all competitions. So if it's 30 league games plus the Ipswich FA Cup defeat last season, which was 4-1, and the Stoke 6-1 in the Cup this season. So yeah, 32 in total. But we're trying to make it look better somehow, and it's not working, is it? No. Bennett, just talking about the run itself. We'll talk about the game specifically in a moment, but we don't win many games at the championship level anyway. But it just feels as an end. Mick says a minute ago, it just feels inevitable that we lose every single away game at the minute. We may have lost Ben.
Has Ben frozen? Is it?
Ben's frozen. Ben's frozen. We'll try and get Ben back. Disaster.
Hello?
He's back. Hello, Ben.
Hello? Yeah,
hello.
What were your questions? Sorry, I switched to my hotspot because Wi-Fi were lagging a bit. What were the question?
Okay.
About the run, did you say?
Just the run, yeah, the way run, yeah.
I mean, I think it was you said it. It's just, it feels like we're the only club that ever goes through anything like this. It's not good. I mean, I can't name another club like it. It's actually absurd, isn't it? The lows that we have at times, the Championship, are ridiculous. But when you look at last time in League One, the highs were ridiculous. You know what I mean? EFL Trophy and the day at Gillingham. I mean, clubs rarely get 2 days like that 10 years apart, never less than the same season. You know what I mean? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I don't get it personally. I don't get. Obviously, home advantage plays a big part in any sport, but especially football. But it's just, I don't get how it can be that drastic. I don't get how we are the worst team that many times. I don't get how there's not more home teams that play poorly and we take advantage. You know what I mean? Because so many teams that come to New York and do it. I don't get why we can't. I don't know what it is. But now it's become a thing, hasn't it? Now it's become that thing. And the problem is, going into next season, is it going to be still a thing? You know what I mean? You don't want it to become unnecessary pressure. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think I don't think we'll be this thing next season, because I think our away record in League One is generally pretty good. But if we do come back up, it's going to be exactly the same thing. You know, we might get 9 wins in 130 games, or whatever it might end up being, or something like that. When you get promotion, the monkey's jumping straight back on, isn't it? If you get that promotion. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Let us talk about the game. Shelley says the funniest thing is Tom Eaves is being joint top scorer. I didn't see this coming.
Can I just say, by the way? Sorry, can I just say, every time I slagged him off when I was watching Ipswich game with Mick, and he scored within a minute. And I slagged him off yesterday, and he scored within 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have to do that every time he starts now.
Yeah. Just follow him around, tell him how rubbish he is, and everything will go perfectly well for him. Great. I mean, even as far back as November, Mick, there was no chance in a million years that Tom Eaves were going to get some goals. No, it would never going to happen. And now he's the only one that is really, look, other than Hacks, but actually he's a centre half. He's the only striker that's threatening, which is great for Tom Eaves. Now, this is not a dig at Tom Eaves. But you got Nombe and Wyke and Hugo, and none of them look like scoring at the minute. There's only one man at the minute, and it's Tom Eaves.
I mean, you say that there was no chance. He's a championship striker. He's proven championship striker. He's a little bit unorthodox because of his size. He doesn't look. He looks a little bit ungainly and everything else. And yeah, he's a big man. He's the big man up front, etc., etc. But he knows what a goal is. He's proven that, But he's not had a run of games. He's not had a decent run at any point during his current tenure at this club. He's either been in and out through injuries or whatever, or he's just nobody. Whichever manager's been here hasn't fancied him to play. But when he has played, he scored. Most of the time, anyway. Certainly in this sort of recent run of performances appearances that he's had. So play him. He's scoring goals. He's, and I hate to drag this up, and we drag it. We seem to drag it up all the time, and I feel a bit bad about it. But he looks far more like scoring than John Hugel does.
Yeah, he does
every day of the week. So yeah, I think we've all been a little bit harsh on Tom Eaves, all of us as supporters of the club, simply because when he has played, he's been out of touch because he hasn't played. And now he's had a little bit of a run of games. He's putting the ball in the back of net. It's his job, and we should be encouraging that. So yeah, listen, he ain't going to be a Premier League striker, is he? We're all aware of that, and I'm sure that Tom Eaves is aware of his limitations and his level and where he needs to be. It'd be a proper handful in League One if he's with us next year, which I think he is. So yeah, I mean, I get why people have been down on him over the years. I understand that, but he can score a goal, keep him in there for me.
Yeah. Kelly Forbes says if he scores on Saturday, he's going to buy him a beer. Like watching Tom Eaves, there's a free beer in that for you if you do. We'll probably still lose like 6-1 or something, but
yeah,
there's a beer in it for you. To be fair, I don't think Nombe had the best game yesterday, Ben, but I still think Eaves and Nombe work quite well. The flick on from Nombe for Eaves to get the goal. When we were playing well, it was working quite nicely between Nombe and Eaves. I don't know if QPR clicked on or something, but whatever, but it helps in the press. It helps with the positive actions. They seem ideal together at the minute, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of typical big man, fast strike, fast big man, fast guy, innit? Sort of thing. It worked well. I mean, towards end, in second half, they were still in the same area. I don't know if that's purposefully or what, but they were doing the same exact thing, making the same runs, and they were just cancelling each other out. In the second half, it looked like it anyway. But yeah, I mean, out of the four strikers that we've got, I think them two are definitely the most dangerous pair. And we've scored what? Did they start together against Ipswich?
No, Hugo started with Eaves against Ipswich.
Oh. Well, but I mean, Eaves started in 2 games and we've scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've scored 4 goals in 2 games and we're bottom of the league. It's quite impressive. But yeah, I think Eaves and Nombe is definitely the way to go, especially for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be a hell of a partnership in League One as well, wouldn't it?
I agree. Completely agree. Everybody keeps saying even this team in League One is going to be terrible. Eaves and Nombe in League One would be brilliant.
League title incoming.
We got everybody clip that.
100 points. Quote me on it now. 100 points.
Oh, Ben, when did you start making such bold claims? You've changed, you. The Wednesday Till I Die podcast is with us at the minute. They want they got evening, lads. I was about to get this in. We're going to do a full Wednesday preview Thursday. Evening, lads. Question for you all: would you rather beat us at the weekend and go down, or get beat 5-0 by us and go on a run and miraculously stay up? What is more likely is that we'll get beat 5-0 and go down. That's more likely. That's where we are at the minute. I feel
I'd rather stay up.
In the nicest way possible, I feel it's a really daft question because we ain't stopping up anyway, will we? It's just a foregone conclusion, isn't it?
I think it's a good question. I like that.
Okay, fair. All right, go on then.
Oh, but go on, Ben. You were talking.
I'd rather stay up. I mean, them doing double overs and thumping us twice would be obviously not ideal for Pride, but I'd rather stay up. I'm assuming they go down then as well. I'm assuming that.
You'd assume so.
I'm assuming that's part of the question. Yeah,
Is that part of the deal?
yeah, part of the deal. Yeah.
Mick?
I mean, obviously, I think anybody would say you'd rather stay up, wouldn't you?
I'd rather stay up.
You'd rather stay up. The reality is, obviously, we're just too far gone now to even contemplate it. And sort of, I guess a rivalries aside, but it's not really. You know, we owe Wednesday. We owe them for the embarrassing performance we put in down at Hillsborough. I mean, it was embarrassing. We went for a beer afterwards with some Wednesday fans, and they were like, they were pretty disgusted, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not quite as disgusted as we were, but the performance we put in down there was just. Well, it got to the stage at the end where people around us in the Rotherham end, we were all just laughing.
Yeah.
It got to the stage where it was funny. It was that bad. And I mean, that is saying something. So, you know, obviously we'd like to beat them, but if it meant losing to them and staying up, I'll stay up every day of the week. And I'll take another Monday morning of laughter at me at work, you know. So
I wonder what there's more chance of us than us stopping up. There must be a long list of things that are more likely to happen than us staying up this season.
yeah.
But anyway,
let's not go into that.
No, maybe another time. Let's move back to the game, Mick. 1-0 up. I'm saying that, going to repeat what we said against Hull. We had them exactly where we wanted them. We had them right where they needed to be. The fans were getting right on their back. They weren't quite booing, but they were getting really, really frustrated. The press was brilliant. They were trying to play out from the back. And as you rightly point out every week, these teams can't play out from the back. But we just didn't punish them. And they got a foothold about half an hour in, to be honest with you. It was something like that. And they never looked back. And I suppose we never looked back. We were never in the game. And the writing was probably on the wall from about half an hour in, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Once we kind of took our foot off the gas. I remember... at some stage in that first 20 minutes or so, I was stood with Tobias, and obviously the QPR manager is ex-Hammerby manager, he came from Hammerby, and Tobias was saying this is what they hated at Hammerby, the way that they were playing, because teams found them out, and we found out QPR straight away, but we didn't. We did exactly what we didn't what we did against Hull. You know, we had them where we wanted them. And we took our foot off the gas and let them come back into the game. I can't think. I don't know what point in the game that happened. It was probably just before half time when they started to create a couple of chances. And Victor made a couple of saves. And you know, half time came at the right time for us. But we just didn't carry it on in the second half. And they took advantage of it. It's so frustrating. But like I said earlier on, we're at a stage where we're clutching at straws at the moment, and that we have to take positives from these last two games. In that, well, even the whole game up to a point, you know, we were on top, and we have to start twisting the knife. We have to be more ruthless, and unfortunately, we're not. And again, I don't know whether that comes down to confidence or what it comes down to, but. We have to be more ruthless, and I mean it's too late now. It's too late. I think we're all sort of at that, you know, have come to that realization. But at least let's make it uncomfortable for the teams that we play from now on. Make it uncomfortable. Take some points off them. You're playing for pride.
That's all you're playing for,
yeah.
I think it was 22 points before Saturday that we'd lost from winning positions or something like that, weren't it?
That's madness.
That's crazy. That's criminal. You can't.
It is.
You deserve to be where you are if you're going to throw them kind of points away.
Yeah.
With Mike Mills is ruthless, nowhere near good enough. Well, that stat just giving you proves that we are good enough. We have been ahead in these games. We have been in positive positions. the mental side of this squad is as low as I've ever seen. The difference between the 16-17 season for me is that 16-17 team was terrible. It was a League One team. There are some good
Average
players
League
in this
One
squad.
team.
Yeah, exactly. It was a poor team. This team has some really good individual players, some really good championship individual players. But the mental side of it is just the worst, probably one of the worst I've ever seen. One of the worst I've ever seen mentally. So it's such a low level. That's the reason we are where we are. And that's what Matt Taylor couldn't sort out. That's what Lewisham can't sort out yet. I
would argue that's what Matt Taylor created.
Yeah,
it must have, because he put these players together. He put these players together, and a good proportion of them are reasonable quality championship footballers. As a unit, they have got more than enough to stay in this division. And they proved that on a few occasions this season with a few performances. The second half at Ipswich being the kind of peak of that. You know, if they put that performance together, or even 50% of that second half at Ipswich performance together every week, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are. So it is a psychological issue ultimately. And I even now at 15 points adrift at the bottom of the league, I'm still not having that these players, technically, ability-wise, are not good enough. I'm not having it. This is more than that. There's something else at play here. It can't be that so many championship quality footballers are having such a bad time all at the same time. It can't be that. That's just not possible. You know?
No, I think it comes down to, even come back to when Warren left. I think the majority of these players were still under Warren, right? If I'm not wrong. Except
a fair amount. I think what we signed 7 in summer, something like that. So mostly, yeah.
Did Humphreys? Did Warren sign Humphreys?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did.
But if you look at most of the squad, Warren signed, and when Warren left, I don't think a lot of them. I think a lot of them sort of checked out, I guess, because they signed for Warren, and you don't sign. They didn't sign for Matt Taylor. You know what I mean? It's still different. You might like Matt Taylor, but you didn't come to play for him. That does play a big part, and I truly think that this is the domino effect of Warren leaving. I think if Warren's still here, listen, this year it'd have been in Premier League. We'd have been Luton. You can laugh at me. You can laugh at me.
will.
Playing when we were there, when that season for them 8 games. Have you ever seen out like it? I can't name a game we weren't a better team except that Sunderland game.
True. That Middlesbrough draw, we weren't very good. His last game.
Yeah, but we were beating. Draw. We weren't very good. And we got a draw. You know.
Fair.
I mean, that was the level we were at. We've never been at. Well, as long as I've been alive, anyway. I don't know about Mick. We did play well after war, didn't we, Mick?
Yeah. Alfie says, how many points have we got by this point in the record-breaking season? We had 17, so we're 2 points better off than we were in the record-breaking season. As best Ben asked me a question yesterday, were we ever worse off in terms of a deficit between now and that season? I think it's basically the same. I think 15 points, I think, is as bad as at the same time in the season. So it's basically bad. Shelley says, when Siriki went off and Reiner went to right back, that's when it all started. Ben, I think he's right, but at the same time, Siriki was having a bit of a stinker, to be honest with you. He was really, really struggling. I also thought Kyoso was struggling defensively. So I kind of made sense to me a little bit to change it up. The problem is the depth's not there. What he probably should have done is brought Shane Ferguson on. And he put Shane Ferguson left wing, Kyoso right wing. But I understand. I do understand the change.
Well, it's fine that you don't know if Siriki's fit. You don't know if Shane Ferguson's fit. You don't. This is the problem with trying to analyse substitutions, because you never know what's going on in their mind. But that's the second time he's done that. So he either trusts Rinham Hotter or Siriki's not fit. It's got to be one of them. I didn't get it. I thought when Cafu came on, I thought for about 5 minutes before they scored, I thought we were amazing again. Changed the game, and then it just seemed to kind of Rinham Hotter work. I said to you, we went back to not crossing it. Went back to getting out wide, cut it back, and then they were tackling us, and it was bouncing off us for their throw-in, and we've lost ball. It just it was just we just went back to like our old self again. You know what I mean? And we weren't using Kyoso or the left side at all. It were going right side, and they were winning header and getting ball.
I think the issue was that I think Liam Richardson felt that the convict chair was causing too many problems down that right hand side, and he needed the pace down there. Fariki obviously was inexperienced, so he put Kyoso across there to try and sort of nullify him. But you know, if you're going to put Shane Ferguson on there, he's going to probably get run ragged with him.
Can I just say, I said this to Matt though. I disagree with that, because with a player like Chair, if you put someone on the right side to help him, they're just going to move him to the left side. They're just going to he can play anywhere. I think they gave him a free role, so I don't think that I disagree with that. So I feel like they're just going to change him, aren't they? You know what I mean? He just play on both sides, because he was playing on both sides the whole game. He kept swapping and switching.
Yeah. Shame he weren't warm in his prison cell, isn't it? Which is where he should have been. But there you go.
Yeah, you were brilliant. Sadly,
yeah, he was. Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. He's.
Let's talk about the goals we conceded. Mick Victor's coming in for a bit of flack for them. The first goal, he's got Megs. No keeper's going to be happy with that. But the first one, I think it's a good finish from a tight angle.
Yeah.
You could criticise a goalkeeper for 9 out of 10 goals. Probably. I don't have a problem with Victor for the goal. Obviously, it should have been stopped well before then. I think it was too easy to get in the right hand side. But I'm not putting any much blame on Victor for the first one.
No, I think for both goals, the build-up was too easy. The build-up was far too easy. We allowed him far too much time and space on the edge of the box, and then moving into the box. I think Victor will be disappointed. I think he could have probably stopped both of them, but you know, he's got so much credit in bank. It matters not really ultimately, does it? But yeah, he will be disappointed, and he probably arguably should have stopped both of them. But had it not been for him, they would have scored two or three earlier on anyway.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
No, we've got to be better allowing that movement around the edge of the box, which is what created or what caused both goals, really, for me. So yeah, we've got to be better in defence, and we haven't been recently. Well, we haven't been at all. To be fair.
No, we haven't. For me, Mick, I think the second one. Sorry, I think it's a great strike by Willock, but it's gone straight through Victor's hands. He's sort of misjudged it or whatever. I don't know. His Nick says second goal. Maybe Victor went a bit early. Do you think Mick's right? Victor made 2 or 3 really good saves, but the second one, I just think it goes straight through. I just think it just fluffed it a little bit.
I mean, if you watch it back, you're right. But the save he made from Cook, I mean, we saw it live right in front of us. Amazing save. When you watch it back, the power on that Cook header is a joke. So I think they cancel each other out, in my opinion. World class save and a mistake. You know what I mean? Because if that's any other keeper, probably saves second one and concedes first one. So it's still two.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. In a good game, Victor. Other than I'm first goal, I'm fine. I'm sort of fine with. I think he's got to be stuck before. Then second ones, yeah, but is the Cook save? There was another couple of saves in there as well.
Can I just say as well, if you're gonna test it enough, you test anyone enough, they're gonna make a mistake. You're putting him under too much pressure. You test any keeper that much, they're gonna make a mistake. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not perfect. He's not Mick in net. He's not Mick back in day, is he?
Listen, I'm pretty sure that Victor aims to be what I was earlier on in my career, but if he needs any advice, he's
Levy Ashton, didn't you?
He's more than welcome to.
You taught Levy. You taught Levy Ashton, didn't you, mate?
Everything he knows, mate. Everything he knows.
Mil Exo says, anyone think that Victor might have a hidden injury? Had treatment on his left leg in the first half, and there was no spring in his leg for the second. Could be totally wrong. I just think it's knocks. I think that's just football. To be honest with you.
I think that treatment for the injury in the first half was trying to take the sting out of the game. They were on top at that point, and I think that was just a bit of gamesmanship, really.
Fair enough. Yes, Scott Kent says Cafoon was not following his runner, gave Willock the freedom of the ground. Yeah, and we've talked about this about a million times this season, Mick. When things turn against this team, 99 times out of 100, there's no turning back. Ipswich was the the exception to the rule, but that's basically the only time this season that we've shown a bit of backbone when things go against you. And this is what we see when teams come to New York Stadium. They obviously take a bit of battering from us, but they either stand up to it or they come back at this level. It's that lack of leadership in it. That's obviously what it comes down to. It's the leadership on the pitch, and I don't necessarily put much blame on Liam Richardson for this, because when it gets to 60 minutes, there's not much he can do from a management point of view. He can make the subs, but from actually managing the players and from a leadership point of view, there's not much he can do. He's relying on the guys on the pitch, and there's just no leaders out there for me.
No, there aren't. I've got no else to say on that. You're absolutely right. What else can you say? Yeah. That's so abundantly clear. And when your sort of psychological levels are so low, you need those sorts of characters out on the pitch. Sam Clucas does his best to get everybody going. You know, he is probably over and above Sean Morrison, because Sean Morrison realistically is not the leader that you would expect him to be. Yeah. Clucas is the man that's trying to get everybody going. He seems to be the one that really he's got fire in his belly. He wants to fight. Certainly the outfield players. It's disappointing. It's so disappointing, but I don't know what else to say, really. There is nobody there that's doing it, unfortunately.
No. Nick says Morrison is a leader, but seems quite quiet. He certainly is on the pitch. We obviously don't see the behind the scenes things. By all accounts, Morrison's a great guy and a good captain, but we don't see it on the pitch. And I don't know. We're comparing to Richard Wood, aren't we? That's the thing. From a leadership point of view, Woody was blood and guts. Everything's on the pitch. Sean Morrison's clearly a different type of player. It seems. Ray Smedley. Will we pick up any more points this season? Ben, we're the Happy Clappers podcast, and we try to be positive. But man, it's difficult to pick out points this season. It really is so difficult.
I think Saturday. We said this about QPR. I think if we're going to get an away win at all this season, I think QPR was the chance. And I think if we're going to get another win or any point this season, I think Saturday's the chance. I think they're the worst team we're going to play for the rest of the season. If I'm not wrong, I've got Stoke again as well.
No, we've got Millwall, who are down there though, and Huddersfield and Plymouth.
We've got Millwall.
They've improved.
Huddersfield. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't see. Well, I can't see us losing. I can't see us winning either, to be honest. I mean, like you said, they look organised, which is the problem, because we can't do anything. I mean, we just have to bank on other teams not being good. It's what it feels like at times.
And sometimes that's not even good enough.
I know.
Look, Ipswich, you're rubbish.
The thing is about obviously we're not previewing Wednesday, obviously, but they don't have a player like Chair, in my opinion. Yeah. Bannon's not as good as Chair. In my opinion.
So that they'll clip it. They'll clip that.
Bannon is. I mean, Mick knows I love Bannon, and I can't believe I just said that in a Rotherham talk, but I do love Bannon. But he's not good enough anymore to single-handedly carry a win. But anyway, I back to your question. I don't think. I hope we do. I hope we get 22 points at least.
Oh, 23, sorry, you mean
at
23.
Least for pride.
23 is the record.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I mean, to have first and second in that record is quite impressive. To be honest, nearly 10 years apart is quite impressive. So that's what we're aiming for. Two records, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I want the gold and silver. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah. Let's talk about Liam Richardson, mate. We put a poll out today about people asking whether you're judging Liam Richardson on this season, next season. It's overwhelmingly, to be honest, it was like 80% of people are going to judge him on next season, which is where I sit. But if you take the context of the league out of it, one winning 15, is it? One winning 16, something like that. If this were Matt Taylor, and it was Matt Taylor, we're asking for a change. How important are the circumstances in which he's come in and the context of the league in terms of looking at him and sort of judging him?
I think it's everything. It's absolutely everything because I think Kev pointed out on Twitter earlier on. I think you're giving him keys to a Ford Focus and asking him to drive in Formula One, essentially. So now, in my opinion, I don't put this down to him. I do not put the situation we're in down to him at all. He has made some mistakes, I think, because he's been too conservative. He's tried to shore up. He's tried to make us more organised and more difficult to beat, and he's taken his eye off the ball in terms of being positive and going forward. When we have started to be positive and go forward, we've caused teams problems. Unfortunately, we've not done it enough, and we've not done it in the right places. We've not done it at home, Yeah. So I don't judge him. I don't blame him for the situation we're in, and context is everything for me. Context is absolutely everything. And 1 win in 15, yeah, all right, that's one part of it. But you've not given him anything to start with. In fact, you've given him less than nothing to start with. So it's a very, very unfair situation he's in. It's a similar situation to the one that Warney found himself in when he took over for the back end of that season. And it was just the usual suspects calling for Warney's head. It's the same suspects who call for the manager's head every time I lose, even if we've just been on a 21 game unbeaten run. So no, well, let's wait and see till next season. Let's see what he's able to put together. But he has no tools, has he?
No. Well, Nick says, poor guy, I haven't even got a training ground.
Precisely. Yeah. Which is scandalous, really, under circumstances.
Yeah. Harry says there needs to be questions asked, but like he said before, what Taylor and Richardson inherited are not the same.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Like Ben pointed out earlier, look at what Matt Taylor inherited from Paul Warne, Dan Barlaser, we could go on with a couple of Victor's. Victor's another one. And
the season that he took over as well, he probably inherited 19 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many points we've got this season? He probably started off with 19 points and only just kept us up. Yeah. Bearing in mind what we were doing before he came in.
Yeah. Josh Creswell asked where we're training. We're training at the stadium. So get ready for Saturday because that pitch is going to be in an absolute state.
Which will play into Wednesday's hand because they're used to playing on a beach,
Yeah. So, true. Very true. Martin Holland says, do you think we would be in the same position if Warnock would come in instead of Richardson? Probably not, no. But that was kind of the situation we found ourselves in. Nobody else wanted a job. I think I'd be amazed if we didn't ask the question to Neil Warnock because that's an obvious one. He's obviously gone up to Scotland. The rumor was he was going on a holiday.
That's a genuine thing. Yeah. I think he was on holiday to see some play golf, I think. If I'm not wrong.
The rumor I heard was that it's something like his missus had booked him a holiday and he was buzzing about it or something like that. So he didn't want to take a job pre-Christmas.
That's fair play.
Which is fair, yeah. It's 70-year-old bloke. Do what you want.
But the thing is, we wouldn't be in the same position, because Neil Warnock Neil Warnock himself is not necessarily a coach. But he's all about the mind games. He's all about the psychology. And he would have got this team playing together as a unit because that's what he does. But it didn't happen. And it will probably never going to happen. So, it's a bit of a moot point.
But to a point on that as well, we've already been through this scenario because 9 years ago, we did have this. Warnock came in. But the problem is he'd have kept us up this season. But he's got to build on next year. And I don't think he'd have stayed. He'd have wanted to stay in this job. I think he'd have wanted to move on, and then you know what I mean. We find ourselves in the same situation we had this season. So I'm not gutted that we didn't get Warnock.
Yeah,
I am because I love Warnock. But yeah,
Matthew Miller says we were bad when Richardson joined. Can anybody say we're better than we were? Liam Richardson has so many questions marks hanging over him. Excuse me. Steve Shelley says nowhere near Mike. We're worse off. I can't see how he's improved us because we pass it sideways and play out from the back. Away from home, Ben, we're significantly better. It's not even a competition. Under Matt Taylor, we were getting absolutely battered week in, week out. It might have only been 2-0 at Cardiff, for example, but we got absolutely battered that game. And I could probably look at the fixture list and go through 4 or 5 other games where we got a tonking. Sheffield Wednesday being another one. Watford being the 5-0. Hull was after it, after them, obviously, but away games we are significantly better under Liam Richardson. It's not even a close comparison for me. At home, we're significantly worse. So it depends on what your interpretation of better is for me.
Yeah, we're much better away from home. But the problem is when we had Matt Taylor, the bad dressing room, that feeling and that lack of confidence in the manager, that is so hard to shake. And when you come in as a new manager and you've got that feeling in the dressing room, I don't think people understand how much that affects the players, because they just don't want to. They just, not that they can't be asked, but it's like it's a different sort of motivation than when you want to go to training and you want to play. You know what I mean? It's just so different, and it's so hard to get rid of that culture and start a new culture. So I think we need to give him a lot more time than they've had, because just because he hasn't won his first 5 games and stuff like that, it's being a manager is not just about the games. It's about building a culture and setting it up for long term, and building your team so that they can face adversity and face losers and not just crumble.
Yeah. Matt Mill says, better, ? Winning a game of football, perhaps. We weren't winning many.
We all want the same things.
Under Matt Taylor.
We all want the same thing here, and I think given like exactly what Ben said there, really, you can't judge Liam Richardson on any of this season realistically. You can take some bits and pieces from it, but we've got to give him the time to completely rebuild, because that's what we're going to have to do because of the culture within the club. The psychology of the players, the way that they approach games, the way that they approach when we go behind, all those sorts of things. It's all got to be dealt with, and that's not going to be an overnight fix. You can't just walk into the dressing room and and I know I'm being a bit ridiculous here, but it kind of emphasises the point. Right, lads, don't be upset. Don't be upset if we go behind. Start again. Yeah. All right, boss. You know what I mean? It's so much deeper than that. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. There are positives, I think, from what Liam Richardson's done so far. There are also negatives.
Yeah.
And given the situation that we're in, it would have taken a colossal effort to get us out of it for me.
Yeah. Matt Miller says, the culture of the club, what does that mean? Can something spell it out, what it means?
A losing culture.
Attitude of the players. Attitude of the players. Yeah, the attitude of the players. Group attitude.
Well, we saw what Paul Warne brought in as a culture. You see what Warnock brings as a culture. You saw the culture that, whether you like what Stevens did or not, it was a culture almost against him at times, which motivated the players. It's about getting a positive environment that the players can thrive in and play in and get results in. It's about getting a positive working attitude from everybody that gets you moving in the right direction. None of us work in football. To be fair, none of us. Ben's the closest one to professional sport, but again, but even Ben's not at that level yet. So none of us can say for certain what culture Liam Richardson's trying to bring in. But we've all worked jobs, haven't we? Where there's a culture within the work, whether it's a positive or negative one. That's basically the same thing.
But if you enjoy something, it's not even about football job. If you enjoy something and you enjoy the people you're doing it with, you're not even going to think twice about giving it your all or something like that. It's just little things like when you're losing 2-1 and you're tired, and it's like, can you be asked to? You know what I mean? It's just little things like that. Can you be asked to run for the throw-in, or you're going to walk to it? It's just little things like that that do make a difference in games.
It's more about the atmosphere. Culture's perhaps not the right word. Culture's the trendy word, isn't it? All these new types of leaders and inverted commas use and everything else. It's about attitude. It's about atmosphere. It's about how you feel in that environment, and that's what Ben's just said. Are you going to run through brick walls for your mates, or are you just going to laugh at your mate when he misses a tackle or falls over a ball or whatever. You know, the tiny little things, but they have a massive impact when they're magnified significantly when they're in a group. And our attitude, the atmosphere within this club, within this team at the moment is we're going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
We look at this monkey that's sat on our back here, 30 games big. That's what's going to happen. We might win, but we probably won't. And that seems, what I mean. That is what it is, or that for me that is how it feels.
Kelly Pops also says the infrastructure that underpins the whole club top to bottom. Yeah, that's something that Liverpool has talked about, and hopefully we will see an improvement on in the near future. I'll be honest with you, if Liverpool didn't think it was going to get the improvements, I don't think he'd still be here, because he's clearly not happy with how the club is at the minute in the background. So let's see on that one. Evening all says Jason Wick. For me, the season is done and time to start prepping for League One with Limerick as gaffer. He says he does fear that it could turn very toxic. Richardson and the players, the longer we go without a win.
It's toxic,
I don't think it will, because there's just apathy from Rotherham fans at the minute. I don't think there's enough feeling towards the players for it to turn toxic. If it was going to turn toxic, it would have already turned toxic, wouldn't it? There's just apathy.
Yeah, if it had turned toxic, we wouldn't be going 1-0 up away from home in 5 minutes. You can tell. You can tell when players don't care, when don't want to play. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? Million Millers. It's good, absolutely right laughing, a Rotherham fan. We suggested to Ben, Mick, and I think you were there, that I don't know, and I support Rotherham United. I don't support Shrewsbury or Cheltenham, but I feel like we are unique in what we go through as a fan base. This is the third time you go back to 2004, 2005, that we're going to be going down from the Championship with less than 30 points. But we've also had 6 promotions since 2005, or whatever it's been, 5, whatever it's been. EFL Trophy in there as well. That's two of the playoff final wins. The journey that this club seems to be on, it might not be, but it feels different, and it feels more extreme than any other club that I can think of outside of, Man City and people like that.
Well, it's better than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's better than supporting a Premier League club.
A Premier League club like Man City.
Yeah, because you're just going to win every week or whatever, you sulk if you don't win a game in Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had some absolutely rubbish, horrible times over the last few years. We've had some unbelievable highs, unforgettable highs. That we've spent, and then we've spent together as supporters. The trip to Gillingham, the win at Wembley in the Papa John's, playoff wins, all these. I don't want to sound pathetic and sad, but all these memories that you've got now, that you've spent with your friends and your family, that you would never have had it not been for this club. We've had some bad times. Like I said, a ridiculous relegation when Paul Warne first took over. Another one this season, probably with another records low points haul. But it makes the good times taste even sweeter. And I know I keep saying that, don't I? But it is a fact. I wouldn't swap it. I wouldn't swap this football club for the world. I would not. I genuinely wouldn't, because some of the best memories I've had in my lifetime have been created through following this club. So, it's crap. It's horrible in the situation that we're in. It really, really is. But you know what? I ain't swapping it. Not a prayer.
Yeah. Sarah Ogden. Watching Rotherham is character building.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that, Sarah.
Yeah. If there's one thing that Rotherham teaches you, is how to lose. I'm an expert in losing. People when you play cards or a board game with your family, and you lose, and they try making out you upset. And I'm a Rotherham fan. I'm all right with losing. It's what we do half of the time. Don't worry about it. No Exco says not many clubs have been to Wembley 4 times in 14 years and won 3 times. You've got some clubs that have never been to Wembley, literally never in their history been to the old and new Wembley, or even just the new Wembley. Yeah. Richard
Yeah.
Brown says, couldn't we have just a boring season for a change? Winning every match. Okay. Yeah. Shoot for the stars and all that.
We've
Not
all,
even
we've
winning
all,
every match, just at 15th.
Yeah, but
Just
15th in League One
that's
wouldn't be very
crap.
fun, would it?
No, not in League One. Not in League One. But just a crap. Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah. I said this to you. I'd take 4th and playoff win again. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Another
Win again.
playoff
You know,
stress. Another playoff
you're right,
stress.
mate. This lows now, but do you know when we finally win, whether it's this season or probably, for the first, if we win first game of next season, it's only the first game of the season, but the relief that we'll all feel will just be brilliant because of the crap we've been through this season. Even if next season's not a success, there'll still be that positive vibe that's the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to start winning games eventually. We are, whether it's this season or next season. It'll be next season.
I think ultimately we will achieve the goal that the vast majority of this club's fan base want, and that's a bit of sustainability in Championship. I think we'll get there eventually. It's been a hell of a road so far, and we're not even close to achieving it. But I think we will do ultimately. But it's a right laugh, isn't it?
Yeah. Alpha says, "Do you want to be in Bristol City State? Not going above 12th or below 1st." Now, John's not in the comments, but fighting for the 18th place trophy in the Championship every season, every single season.
Do you want to be in Bristol City's place? How much money do they owe?
A lot. Yeah.
How much money are they losing on a day-to-day basis? I know I keep banging on and going back to this, and I got called a gimp, I think, on Twitter the other night because I said about Tony Stewart being what he is. Whatever, call me what you want, but it makes no difference. We do not owe millions and millions and millions of pounds to anybody.
True. Plus, Rich Mills says
I don't know.
Buster Mill says, "Hi guys, visited Rotherham recently with Stoke and thought everything was placed for Rotherham to be a brilliant Championship club. Brilliant setup. Good luck, guys. It is on the face of it. But yes, thank you, Buster. I'm not glad you had a good time because you won. Shelley says, "I blame Derby County. They put us in this situation. I think it's time we accept that the rest of the Championship were just bullies, and it's not our fault for being rubbish. It's the rest of the Championship was just horrible, and just that's all it is. Still,
it's ruthless. It's cutthroat, isn't it? People have spent millions and millions and millions of pounds in this division trying to reach that promised land, and
Luton spent £5 and did it."
Well, exactly. Yeah, they're a one-off, aren't they? But ultimately, as many other, I know I feel like a broken record, but lots and lots of clubs are finding out the hard way that not the right way to do it. Yeah. Would you rather be a Rotherham fan or a Reading fan? They've had it. They flirted with Premier League for a couple of seasons. They flirted with Championship, and now they're throwing tennis balls on pitch every week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know, but
yeah. Shelley says League One away days are better anyway. Loads of local ones. Yeah, League One away days are good and cheaper.
Yeah,
we were saying this, weren't we? Got some good ones next year. Wrexham, if they go up, a couple of local ones like you said.
Mansfield, we should go up. Stockport, hopefully. I like Stockport. It's not that local, but I like Stockport. Yeah, there were some good ones next year. Really good. Oh, sorry?
Notts County.
Notts County, maybe. Yeah. Barnsley, probably. Yeah. It's not all doom and gloom, is it? It is at the minute, but yeah, I don't know what else to say anymore. Yeah. Anything else we need to talk about today? Because
yeah, come on. Are you ignoring Mike's comment?
Go on. Mike says culture does need changing among the fans. Also, if we keep reporting this nonsense that the roller coaster ride is so wonderful because within it we've had so many memories. Yawn. It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey.
I mean, Mike and I have different views on lots and lots of stuff, don't we? Referees in particular, and I've got. It won't surprise you one little bit that I've got a different view to Mike on that one.
Yeah. I tell you what we're positive yesterday. We saw Joy from London Millers. We obviously have a shot. Well, Joy's on the podcast a lot, but because she's obviously down south, we don't see Joy very often. It was lovely to have a 10-minute chat with Joy. I saw Danny. Again, we see Danny here. We don't, other than the instant reaction, we don't see Danny. It was nice to spend some time with Danny for a bit, and Jensen we came up with. The Swedes were over. We got to speak to the Swedes for a bit. I got to apologise, I think, to Thorbjorn. When we scored the goal, I'm pretty certain I elbowed him in head because he was in front of me. So apologies to Thorbjorn if you're watching.
I spoke to Thorbjorn, he wouldn't have felt it.
Yeah. And also there were a few other people that we spoke to, just fans of the podcast who listened and watched it. We maybe don't get to as many away games as we possibly should, but I really enjoyed speaking to everybody we spoke to yesterday. They were good. I enjoyed the day. I really, really enjoyed the day, and that's what it's saying about the journey. I really, really enjoyed the day up until 60 minutes whenever QPR got their goal. The day was a really, really good day. I really enjoyed it.
I when I climbed into bed last night, I thought exactly that. You know what? We've lost. I guess we expected to lose, but I've had a good time. I've had a good laugh, and that's what I'm talking about, Mike. It's not a yawn at all. You know, it's just great fun, and hugely disappointing that we are where we are.
Of course,
I have no issue with that, and I agree. But you got to take the positives out of it, because if you don't. It doesn't matter what football club you support, you know, it'll drag you down ultimately, because that's what football does. That's the point of it, isn't it?
It is kind of a blessing, because every game now, I said this to you about the QPR game and I think another one, Matt, but I'm not stressed at all watching it. Like, I can enjoy the game. I can just enjoy the football. You know what I mean? I'm not that stressed about, look, we're 1-0 up and, you know what I mean? Like against Sunderland, when we were 1-0 up, my heart was beating out of my chest. And when we go 1-0 up, I can just watch. You know what I mean? That is kind of the beauty of being so bad. It don't mean all.
You're not checking what everybody else is doing either, are you?
Yeah,
I'm not stressing.
Yeah, I'm just watching the game. I'm just watching the game of 11 men, the 22 men just kick a ball.
Yeah. McInerney says, just one thing he'd say, lads, is what about fantastic support. Yeah, 600 or so we took to QPR, made a good old noise and all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a decent atmosphere in that away end for what it is. Yeah. I don't share Ben's view on QPR's ground at all.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, all right. Shelley asked about Sam Clucas and things like that. You know, what about offering Sam Clucas the captain's armband next year to say, I'd really love to see Sam Clucas next year, but for me, if Sean Morris is not here, there's one captain, that's Hakeem Odoffin next season. He's the man.
I don't think Clucas will be here anyway. I think he's a championship quality player.
It would be an unbelievable coup to be able to get Sam Clucas to stay. He won't stay. He's too good for League One. But we want players who like Sam Clucas, who's got fire in his belly. He has, you know, and he's got the ability to match it as well. So, you know, he's
one of the few that comes out with a bit of credit this season, Sam Clucas.
Yeah, there's a few. There are a few.
Yeah,
you know,
the new signings certainly.
Yeah, Hakeem Odoffin's been immense this season. He's been unbelievable. Obviously,
reckon he'll be here next year. Odoffin.
He's got a clause, and he will be in contract. But if I'm a lower mid-table team, Birmingham, something like that, and I need
how old is he?
He's 25. Really, really good age.
Really, I thought he was quite.
No, he was signed at a really, really good age. The problem is who's going to pay loads of money for him. He's not a second sign like Dan Barlasser was, is it? Or Chio.
If you're looking at it in his perspective, I'd take a year in League One. Take a year in League One, maybe get a trip to Wembley, try and win an EFL trophy, and if we don't come up, then get your move.
But he's out of contract next summer. He's got an extension. This is his 1 year extension in summer. So if we don't cash in now or don't sign no contract.
I know. I'm saying from a Hakeem Odoffin point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's questions, isn't there? Ollie's into his last year, Victor's into his last year, Hax's into his last year, Cam's probably into his last year, although we don't know if Cam Gunterfish has got an extension clause. It's all right saying there's 13 players out of contract. There's more than that we're leaving this summer. John Hugo will win another one. I don't think he'll want to play in League One, although having watched with the Championship, I'm not sure who's going to try and take him in the
Yeah,
championship.
but the beauty of that is obviously, we'll have about 3 players at club, but the beauty of that is that sort of bad culture. A lot of as good as the players may be, and as good as people as they may be, and they might not be the problem, but they're involved in it. Some of them are involved in it, not through any fault of their own, and it's just a fresh start for everybody. In my opinion,
I spoke. I spoke to Chris Turner. I did an interview with Chris Turner, the former Sheffield Wednesday manager, who managed. He took over Sheffield Wednesday when they got relegated in 2004, 2003, something like that. He took over management, and he went into the following season. And one of the things he said he did was get rid of basically almost the entire squad, even the players that would have been amazing in League One. He got rid of them because the squad needed a clean slate. It needed no baggage from the previous championship season, which has caused relegation. And I think that's the route I'd be looking to go down if I'm Leah Richardson. I'd be looking at almost a clean slate. Get some young, hungry players in who want to fight to try and be in the championship, to try and progress themselves up to League One. I don't like taking advice off a Sheffield Wednesday guy, but I do think that plays what you just said, but I couldn't agree more with you. We need a fresh start. I just think we need freshness. I completely agree.
On a positive note, Mike and I have found something that we agree on. Hugo doesn't want to play in Championship either. Yeah, absolutely. That's quite clear. But another point in there, Matt, I'm sorry, I'm taking your job on here, aren't I? That Nick's made, that Klugst is 33.
Yeah.
Not 13, which is how it looks. At 33, is somebody going to want to take him on in Championship? Would he like to continue his career? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is talk for the summer, isn't it? I guess so.
He also
that's a good point. It definitely. Sorry, go on.
I was just close to Richardson. He's got a close relationship with Liam Richardson, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get 46 games in league, isn't he? If he wants, if he's fit and he wants, so he's going to get. I mean, he'll be on pitch for 90 minutes of every game at season if he's fit and wants. So you should stay if you're watching, Sam.
Yeah.
Now he's watching.
There we go. Anything else, boys? So I got an hour and 2 minutes out of that game.
Do you want to cheer Mike up and talk about Mr. Donahue from yesterday's performance?
Not really, because I think he's not a very good referee.
What a clown!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're poor. Look, he's one of those referees that fell for every single trap that QPR laid for him in terms of trying to win a foul. Every single one. You think after one or two, he'd sort of think, do you know what? There's something going on here from QPR's.
Can I just say though,
that
stadium plays a big part in that, because when you're refereeing in front of, I don't know how many it is, I think it's only 20,000, is it?
That's
maybe?
It is. Yeah.
I bet that when you're on that pitch, I bet it feels like 50,000, and it does. Whatever you want to say, it makes a difference on the human brain. 50,000 people or 600 people, you know what I mean, subconsciously. And that stadium, again, just to bring back to my love for the stadium, plays a big part in that.
Is this a come and get me call?
No, yeah, I'm going to say QPR, if you're watching that. Can I be a ball boy or something, please?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a clown.
It was rubbish. It was poor. Mick.
Yeah. I mean, you've covered just about all of it, apart from the last 15 minutes of time wasting that he allowed to carry on, and he sprinted across to Cam Humphreys in first half to book him for time wasting, and none of their players got penalised for the last 15 minutes of it. So
you're having a go at Victor as well.
Yeah.
Time wasting when he was getting ball, when he was trying to get ball that Sean Morrison kicked away from him. You're having a go at Victor.
I think we're losing as well, or drawing. I can't remember.
The frustrating part about it is, and we see it week in, week out in the Premier League, don't we? How players just throw themselves on the floor and immediately get a free kick. So I tweeted one out today, which the referee got right from the Man U game with that clown Fernandes.
Yeah, enjoyed that.
But those sorts of things, they're the same sort of things that get penalised week in, week out, and certainly minute in, minute out on Saturday. But anyway, it again got nothing to do with the reason we lost the game. No, arguably. Had we had another 15 minutes to play, which we should have done, then we might have scored again. We might have equalised. You never know, do you? But yeah, we know what to expect with that chap, don't we? And his inability to give handballs online.
Yeah, Mr.
I've let it go.
No,
Gone.
No. Shelley says, nice to see PK celebrating with Eaves. Haven't seen so much emotion from him, so wasn't sure how he felt. He's another one who could be an asset. Yeah, I think he's kept himself within himself a lot, Kyoso, which I don't mind at all. But a bit of emotion came out, which is nice to see. I think Tom Eaves. I think it helps that Tom Eaves is a really positive, a really popular guy in the changing room as well.
Yeah. And as Harry just mentioned there, all that and him refusing to play as well. Remarkable scenes.
Yes. Last call. Anything?
No.
Stadium were nice, weren't it?
God, here we go. Bloody hell, it's moved to London. You know what I mean?
My only request from yesterday is that the Westfield Centre put more exits in.
What exits?
You know all they need?
Sign.
All they
Exit
need
sign.
is a sign that says exit. There wasn't a single exit sign in the entire building that I saw.
That is true.
Just a sign that says out, this way out. No, nothing. Yeah, sorry. Somebody asked about referee for Saturday. No, that's not been announced yet, as best as I can tell. Let me just load up the FLR website. They don't normally do it this early, to be fair. No, not out yet, as expected. So we'll find out. We'll be back on Thursday to do the preview of the show. We will be doing a scouting report with a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Guess where he's from? Guess where the Sheffield Wednesday fan's from?
Let me guess. Rotherham.
It is. How did you guess?
Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
Amazing scenes.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Just a word of warning to people in the comments: if you are watching if you are going to watch on Thursday, get in early because it'll be full of Wednesday fans. So you need to get your seat early.
Yeah. You're going to slag off Bannon again. Are you thinking of some lines you can?
Well, it depends. It depends.
How viral again.
It depends how many as to whether. I mean, we're up. There's 100 and odd people watching at the moment, and us three. I think we all should get our heads together and see how much we can wind them up, because there'll be loads of them, won't there? We could have a bit of sport really, because there'll be nobody watching now. So let's get our heads together. We'll start a WhatsApp group and see what we can do for Thursday. See how many bites we can get.
Yeah, and don't worry. We'll say this again on Thursday, but if any Sheffield Wednesday fans are watching, if we win on Saturday, we will be completely unbearable for the rest of the season.
Correct.
Saturday is the only important game left. The league's gone, everybody. So if we manage to somehow win, we will be completely unbearable. We won't win, obviously. But if we will be, it'll be terrible. We might do an emergency podcast just because we've won something like that, just to properly wind them in.
Yeah.
No, we won't. We're not that silly. We will have. We'll
do the review on Sunday, obviously, and then we'll do an emergency podcast on the Monday.
Okay.
Just to rub it in a bit more.
Yeah. Cool. We have talked about this internally. We will be doing an emergency podcast when relegation's confirmed. That'll be around Easter, probably. It could be slightly earlier. But we did one when we survived. We did one when we got promoted. It's only fitting, sadly.
It'll be a very short one.
Yeah. But on a positive, you will really, really enjoy laughing at us at the end of the season when we go back through our preseason predictions, because there's some absolute shockers in there. Absolute shockers.
I'm not coming on that one.
Anyway, thank you. It's February. We've got 2 more months left of this. Thank you, everybody, who will be with us tonight. I know these losses will come through as they do weekly or bi-weekly sometimes. It's not the easiest being a Rotherham fan, but thank you for joining us and keep joining us. The numbers are going up. There's more of you watching and more of you following us on Twitter, more of you following us on Facebook and iTunes and everything else. So thank you, everybody who is continually joining the show. I know you guys that have been here from the very start as well. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. There will be some positive news at some point. Positive was Ben was here tonight. Your Wi-Fi basically held up tonight. So thank you very much, Ben. Even though he's deathly ill, you've battled the plague to join us, and I really appreciate it.
How's the Achilles, by the way?
I'm fine. I'll be playing on Saturday.
You'll be fit for Saturday, will you, Cam? Right, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Mick, thank you very much. It's a pleasure, as always. We'll see you all next time. Thank you for being with us, as always. And, as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers. Come on, Ben.
Up the Millers.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I pressed wrong button. Why have you put me in charge? Put me in charge of IT. See you later, folks.
Goodbye, everybody.
Slides into Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Fodringer, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box for Doffin, he can hit them, and he does. The Doffin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.